Salutations everyone, and welcome back to an Eccentric's Hobby Closet. My name is Gwen, and today, one of the hobbies that I'm going to be showing off is drawing. I love drawing. I primarily focus on character design, because just from a young age, I've always liked creating and building characters and trying to design them in a way that you can show their backstory and history and personality and all that fun stuff. So anyway, today I am going to be showing off a speed draw that I did for a Monster Hunter OC that I designed along with her 3 animal companions. Full disclosure, the extent of my knowledge of Monster Hunter is limited. I've only played the demo for Monster Hunter Rise, and then everything else is me watching people streaming the game and me doing research on wikis and stuff. But I love the world building in Monster Hunter. I love the character design. I love the creature design. Just everything about it is just very enthralling to me. So I really wanted to create a character. And that is something that I do a lot, is that I will see a franchise that I really like the aesthetic or the character design or just the general concept of, and I will create a character in that universe without knowing a lot about it. But anyway, let's get started. So I drew a dual blade user named Rinara with a Palamute named Laika, a Palico named Lien, and a Kahoot named Luna. And for those who are absolute newbies, like I am, the Palico is the cat, the Palamute is the dog, who is the best boy, and the Kahoot is the owl. So with the character design, I really wanted to go with a more wintry sort of feel, and I really liked the idea of the hunter having the head of some sort of creature as like a hood for like a little cape. This is probably a little bit more cutesy. You know, no actual hunter would probably wear this, but have you seen some of the outfits in Monster Hunter? It's insane. And let me tell you, I really wanted to base the animal head off of like an actual Monster Hunter creature. Unfortunately, I thought of that a little bit too late, because I had already drawn like this wolf-esque hood, and I had grown attached to it when it finally hit me that, oh, I should probably use like an actual Monster Hunter monster. But I didn't. So I tried my best to recover what little semblance of cohesiveness that would go into this. I went onto the wiki and I looked at so many monsters. There's so many monsters, man. I was really trying. I really did try. But, I couldn't find a monster that suited the silhouette that I wanted, or that I was going for, that was also in the sort of climate that I already prepped for myself, because I had already committed to, like, oh yeah, very wintry with, like, fur trim and stuff. I had this one monster in mind, but then I did more research and found out that it was from the desert, and I was like, oh man, and I wish I could remember what it was called now. After a while, I was just like, okay, never mind, I give up. So I just went with this little, just random main thing. And I knew that I primarily wanted it white. And then I go through a bunch of, some different colors. I started off with red, and I ended with blue, just because that's my MO. I did play around with some of the different pattern designs that Ibis has. They have a ton of different resources and stuff, like different textures, different fonts, and different like background images and stuff that come with the app. But in the end, I decided that I was just going to draw it in. Just draw my own pattern, because it was just, I couldn't find one that quite fit the vibe that I was looking for, and I ended up using red as the accent color on all of the white bits, like with all, like, her on her cape and her skirt and her socks and the laces on her boots. I also put like a little pattern along the collar of her shirt, not for any particular reason. It was just a design choice that I made, and I actually kind of like it. I also I decided to do like this war paint sort of thing. I try really hard like to do like some sort of makeup or something. Not a lot. I didn't want to do a lot of makeup on this character because you're a hunter. You're out in the wild and you're fighting, and you don't really want to wear a lot of makeup because, it'll smear and get all over. I know this. I'm feminine. I like makeup. But I did want to do kind of like a war paint sort of thing because war paint's cool. War paint's fun. I chose to do dual blades. One, because it was the only weapon that I had tried so far. Now I think I tried the longsword and the bow. But also, listen, I'm an anime nerd, okay? I'll admit it. I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm an anime nerd, and I've always loved dual wielding characters. I can't help it. It's just very cool. And that I did go through some of the weapons that actually exist in Monster Hunter, but in the end I was just like, I'm just gonna make my own. I've already made my own monster, apparently. Why not just make my own weapon? It doesn't matter. There's no rules. So now I'm working on the Palico. It goes through a lot of different changes. You'll see that I play with all sorts of different colors and stuff. A lot of the animals go through a lot of different colors. I had a brief moment where I was like, you know what, maybe a pastel themed Palico and Palamute would be fun. But I'm too goth for that. Like, I was thinking in my mind, when I actually get to customize my own animals, I'm not sure if I would, in good conscience, make pastel animals. So in the end, I ended up switching to like darker colors like grays and blues. All the Kahoots that I've seen so far are all sort of the same colors, so I did some color grabbing from that instead of coming up with colors for that. And also, I felt a strong need that all of the creatures needed to have matching outfits, because I had to. If it was me, they would all be in matching outfits. So I did end up using one of the patterns that was available in Ibis Paint, which was just like this really simple, I guess, Oriental inspired geometric pattern that I really liked, and I did a lot of color balancing so that way it was just subtle, but it was there. And then I did like a yellowish gold trim on everything, and I think there's also like red accents too. And then I painted this fancy little background. You will not see me do a lot of background. I don't generally do backgrounds, but I really wanted to do a background for this. So I did the best way that I could cheat through making a background, which is finding some pretty painterly sort of brushes and just kind of vaguely painting out some shapes and shading it and looking at different tutorials to try to fake it as much as possible, because I don't do backgrounds. That is sort of my chaotic process, or the chaotic explanation of how I draw. I'm really happy with this. This was probably one of like my better drawings that I've done. I realized that I never drew any weapons for the Palico or Palamute, and I'm really kicking myself for that. Maybe I'll do that some other time. Maybe I'll redraw them and they'll get their fun little weapons. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, if you haven't already, please like the video, comment below, hit the subscribe button, check out my social media link, and tell your friends. It's always fun to share fun things with people. I know I bombard all of my friends with the stupid videos and stuff that I watch. Anyway, until next time, please take care of yourselves and do the things that you love to do the most. Bye bye!